Good evening, everybody, on this Good
Oh my
Friday.
god!
Hey, Chris.
China father
Hey,
tries after tutoring.
Buddy, we're live. Just hold off. Okay? Sorry. Go ahead.
good evening, everybody, on this Good Friday evening. Many of you are probably celebrating or hurt, perhaps. It is Friday, April 3rd, 2026, a little bit after 7 p.m. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, and set your notifications. As a reminder, we are off on Monday and we'll return on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See, I'm moving down to Kentucky pretty soon. So we'll be Monday at 3 p.m. Wishful thinking. I'm tired of the cold weather.
I think everyone is at this point.
I know. It's time to go. So,
Weather needs to absolutely beat it.
yep. So other than that, what's going on? Crazy B and I usually talk every day, every morning, whatever. This is the first we're communicating, like literally 3 minutes before we went live.
I slept most of the day.
And I was busy. Yeah, too much is going on this end of the world. The worst was when the baby went from the window to the floor.
Sounds like a fun trip.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
I absolutely would have fun doing that.
Yep. Right on his forehead. I thought for sure he busted a lip or something, but oh man, the wail that he let out and the sobbing, and I felt so
It's
bad.
mostly out of fear than it is pain, so.
Yeah. Because he was at the window, and as I said, to find yourself, well, one, you banged that big head of his off the floor, the hardwood floor. So I think he was in shock.
Yeah.
And he fell right between the couch curves at the end, so that when you're sitting at one end of the couch, the person on the other end can actually be seated and turn and face the other two people.
So it's a wraparound couch.
Kind of, but it's more like on an angle, kind of on a more of an angle, weird shape. And I had a ottoman that went with it, but the ottoman is so big between the pack and play and the playpen and the walker, there was no walking room in the living room. So we took that upstairs. So I usually keep the pack and play in front of the couch. But now that he's heavier, he was able to move when he fell. His momentum and his weight was able to push the pack and play right out of the way. And he went right in between the two of them, and I couldn't catch him in time. I was sitting right on, next, relatively close, on the couch.
Oh, yeah, but that happens. Like, my son was about 2 years old. He was jumping on the couch. I didn't catch him in time, and he went face first into the toy box and broke his nose.
Oh, my.
Did you just tell me hush in the middle of a live stream?
Oh, we are going to meet Meatloaf tomorrow.
Okay, so Meatloaf is now tomorrow. I love my family, don't you?
Well, hey, stuff happens.
So, well, hopefully little guy ain't got no serious, long-lasting issues from it.
I had his parents give him some Tylenol. Eric and them came home early and told him to give him some Tylenol and ibuprofen, just to keep an eye on him. So, but then we were on the phone with the insurance companies again, and I am not going to. The migraine is at a mild pace. I am not going to get myself upset. So we're not going to talk about them. We'll talk about them next week. It was just as bad as earlier in the week. If you missed it, go back and listen to our show complaining and bitching about insurance companies.
That
Medicare,
was yesterday.
Social Security. Was that yesterday?
Yes, it was. I went on a nice long tangent about how fucked up the system is and how they automated it and then made us talk to AI first. And I'm like, fuck AI, and AI is going to come back to kill me.
Yes. Yeah. So all of you don't piss off AI because you'll be the first to go.
They will alter your medical records.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You go into the hospital for something. The next thing you know, the next day, well, we're taking you in for surgery. You have a broken leg, but meanwhile, they're going to give you a lobotomy or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. I don't trust AI. And then you add bureaucracy on top of AI, and it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yes. I mean, we can't get them to do the basic of the functions. And I apologize for my voice. It's been this way for the last 10 days, I think. This sinus thing, I never suffered from allergies or whatever is going on. I think you sent whatever you have up this way.
Mm-mm. I think
Digestion,
it's hitting everybody all around at the same time. And
really,
y'all are just finally getting the body symptoms that I've had my entire life. You guys are behind me. I'm advanced in allergies.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, it's terrible. It really is.
My daughter's allergies have been acting up because she's been cleaning. And she picked up a candle she saw in my room and she's like, oh, it's dusty. Holds it up level to her eyes and blows in it. And all the dust goes right into her eyes, making her allergies worse.
No. Oh, no.
I'm like, what were you going to accomplish? Like blow the dust out the other end of the candle?
Right. That's funny.
So, yeah, allergies are hitting everyone right now. My dad's been having problems with it. He was telling me a couple of his friends are having problems with it. People who don't even know me, but know someone who knows me. You know, it's like, I promise you it's not my fault. It's just, I don't know, government. We'll blame the government.
And I want to say we had a pretty severe winter. You know,
I've seen worse, but it's still not the best mild winter. I've seen worse, though. It was moderately bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the cold went, doesn't the cold usually keep the mold and everything at bay, right?
Yeah, and if you have quite a few thaws, that can flare up and cause the mold and mildew to start growing.
And then when you live in the country, surrounded by trees, weeds, grass.
Oh yeah, did you know that Iranian shot down a fighter jet?
Go ahead.
I just know. I was saying when you're surrounded by all that stuff, then combined with the cats and the dog and everything and all the hair and their shedding and all of that, it doesn't help.
Yeah, the pollens and the dander.
Yep.
Hey, Peggy.
Uh-huh.
She tried Zyzel and had absolutely no effect from it. I actually suggested that a while ago.
I tried that for 10 days, 7 days, 5 days, and I broke out in hives actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. You ended up being more allergic to it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I stopped that because the doctor recommended that. So I think tonight I might pop. I'm getting so desperate I might pop a Benadryl. Although I hate that dried out feeling. I feel like I need a Sudafed.
I'm telling you, I miss Sudafed being so easy to buy. Now you got to provide ID.
Yeah, you can't get it delivered in the mail. The prescription pharmacies will not deliver it. No, you have to show ID to pick up Sudafed. And
good old-fashioned real Sudafed.
Yes, and they limit the quantities that you're allowed to have. How many boxes, how much of the liquid you can have.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Oh, it's used to make math.
Make math?
Yeah, well, we're going to monitor all that, but, let all this other stuff.
Big arch too?
Sorry, I got chili running down my chin.
You're okay.
We're having kind of a chili nachos dinner.
I hear you. That'll work. I have ramen. The usual when things have gone awry and nothing's planned. Anyway, why don't we get started? We'll see how much we can clean up before next week.
Alrighty. I have a feeling I'm going to have to... Hold on, I got to move a few things around.
So we ended up...
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Blue. What I was going to say, what video did we end up watching, Crazy Bee? What was the last one?
It was on this. I think it was this judge shutting down something Trump's trying to do. Can't remember. We said we were going to look into her.
Right, but I can't remember what the Dance for Love Nor Money, what the video was.
Neither can I. It might have been a Cash Jordan video. No, he was dealing with those teens breaking out in a fight. I think it was from a news station. It was just a news network talking about this. Is this the one about stopping Trump from doing the construction on the White House?
Is it?
I think it is. Because we were going to talk about her
when we scroll down. Yeah, we don't need to go into too much. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but scroll back up to her picture. Let's see, who brought her in? Obama. Okay. So she's been in since for about 11, 12 years. And my question to you earlier when I came in and you had her picture up, again, is what I asked last week or earlier in the week. Why do they all look alike? I'll bet we could put Judge Boasberg on her.
Mm-hmm. I think it could work.
What do you think?
I think it would work. I mean, they all look like they're all old and they're all saggy. Fat, flabby, wrinkled. Usually have a black robe on and glasses.
I mean,
and really. A brush cut hairstyle of some sort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not even a smile, like a glimmer of a...
If you had to oversee federal cases for the United States Supreme Court, the United States court system, would you smile?
Well, maybe the photographer could tickle her or something. You know, like hold the doll up like we did for the kids when they were little, going goo goo gaga. Come on, Judge Allison.
You know what I tell people to do?
You could smile.
I just say fake it. Pretend to smile.
Yeah, there you
go. Whatever.
Yeah.
Put a fake show on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So, she was born in 1961 in
Go
Boston.
Ahead, whatever. Okay.
I'm trying to see her notable cases. We're back in 2017 when Trump tried doing the travel ban pertaining to whoever these groups are for Harvard. A lot of lawsuits from Harvard that she handles. She is the one who's mad about the no, that's what that it was an article we were reading. It's about the CBP1 app and Trump terminating their status. That's what that was.
Thank you.
She was having a fit about it.
If you would have said D, we were going to take your firstborn, you would have had to have taken him because I never would have gotten that.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I'm not sure. She seems to handle a lot of, like, minor cases. I've never seen her really do any big cases. So, I mean, she issued a temporary restraining order against the Department of Energy's 15% cap on indirect cost for higher education grants. Immediate and irreparable injury to the universities.
Mhm.
She seems to do a lot of university cases. I would bet you any kind of
Yes.
money she's probably getting kickbacks. Evidently, there was a
What's
class
that
action
in,
against Nestle,
I was just, looking at that. What is that
the
about?
Hershey Company, and Mars Incorporated. She considered allegations that the companies violated Massachusetts' product labeling laws by failing to disclose the use of slave child labor in the cocoa production. She dismissed the
Seriously?
complaint against the companies in January of 2019, a decision upheld by the Court of Appeals for the First Circuit in June of 2020. In September
Who brought
2019,
Who
Go
brought
ahead.
that suit? Who brought the
Mm,
suit? Does it say?
no.
I don't see it.
Wow. She also dealt with
Because you're
honey bunches of oats. Only had limited honey in it.
Okay, hold on.
Who the fuck sues over something like that?
That's what I want to know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Who did that? Well, does it tell us on the little sub notes? Where there's 16 and 17.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, no direct record to the case. No direct record to it. Oh, wait, there it
Okay.
is. Tomasella versus Nestle. If you
Let's
want,
see.
we can.
Can we find? Yeah, let's see who Tomaselli is, or if we can find anything.
Tomasella. Oh, it looks like that might be a problem. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me do it this way. All right. Okay. Court opinions. First, who is Tomasella?
Yeah, that's what we want to know. I'm just curious who brings these types of lawsuits. Because if that's the case, maybe we're in the wrong business. Oh, hold up. Blow that up a
It's a
little bit, crazy.
consumer class action lawsuit.
Okay. But that's a Massachusetts resident. That's just one resident?
But one resident was bringing a class action
right,
against
right.
the entire corporation that impacts all of America and parts of the world.
Yeah. Okay, so highlight this Tomasella.
This is supposedly slave labor.
Right, but highlight who Tomasella is. Danielle Tomasella. Let's see who they are.
Oh, that's not one that you can click. Let me open another tab and see what I can find.
I'm just curious.
Animal welfare advocate.
Okay.
Okay.
Do they have a Wikipedia page at all?
No, these are just people. They're not even famous. And I don't want to accidentally pull up the wrong one.
Right. We'll click up because there was one that said there was the lawsuit. Go back up.
Right here. That's from Find
They're
Law.
the one in Massachusetts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a green on your screen?
Oh.
Go do something productive.
So here she is. She's a professor in communication study at the Department of Emerson College.
Okay. Oh, that's from
So
LinkedIn. If it's the right same one.
or this, I'm looking at the one down here, rate my professors or whatever. I'm just curious, regardless, how do you feel about having one of your college professors being an activist, teaching your
I
child
ignore
when
them.
you're...
When I was in college, I ignored it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what can you really do? Think about it. You're paying to go to the college to get an education. You find out the product is faulty, you either get a refund, go somewhere else to find the same shit all over again, just a different face, or you suck it up, get through it, get your education, and get the fuck out of there and don't go back.
Yeah, that's true.
I have no reason to send my kids to college, mostly because all colleges are a fucking waste of money right now.
When have they not been?
Right.
That's a good point.
Well, I'd say probably before the 90s.
I'd say before the 60s. Actually, before the 40s.
So before World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy how everything changed after World War II. The Austrian painter.
Go.
Do you think people were paid to kick him out of the art school?
Can I please have the live stream time? Please. D, are you still there?
I'm here.
No.
Okay. Buddy, please, or I'm going to start giving out names and information to you.
Derek.
Go. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah,
fundamentally,
I don't know.
That's the biggest case she had to deal with.
Yeah. It looks like. Well, that, and don't forget honey bunch of oats.
The honey bunches of oats or honey nut Cheerios or something.
Falsely labored.
Don't take it.
You know, bees.
God, I'm trying to hear. Please stop. I can't hear two people at the same time. Either listen to the podcast so you know when she's talking, or please don't chime in at the moment.
That's gay.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. I feel like a certain kind of way about if I would find out that they would be, what if they were a BLM activist, or, a...
If the judges are BLM, it's going to be put through a third party or something. You're not going to ever see it on record.
Yeah.
Especially for a federal judge.
I don't mean the judge. I mean a professor.
Oh, professor? Shit. All of them are.
Yeah.
I think there's only 2 or 3 well-known professors who aren't
that are
insanely gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
But sadly, they're few and far between, and the ones who are lesser known are the ones who are getting silenced the most.
Exactly. Yep. All right, so what else about her? Are we done with her then?
And then basically, there ain't much more to say, except she's really not had that many hard cases. So.
Okay. But yet she knows enough, though, to stop the CBP-1 program. And bring back...
to keep it going.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean to keep it going. I meant to stop the Trump administration from pursuing, is what I meant. And what was that? Was it 700 or 900,000? I think it was 900.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a mess. All right, and you sent this over with the statement. I saw it. Now you have to.
Yep. Because I can't unsee it. You all were gonna wait. We saw this already, didn't we?
No, we did not.
Oh, I don't remember. So let's just. I don't think we have to play the whole thing. I think it's just the beginning part. I don't
Mhm.
remember. I'm sorry, I'm not with it today. I have
Welcome to the
migraine
club.
drugs in my system. Yep, I have
Mhm.
migraine drugs in my system. I'm
Mhm.
just getting food into my system.
I don't
I'm
blame you.
traumatized from my baby. I'm traumatized from my baby falling.
He'll
Anyway,
be all right.
go
They
ahead.
bounce.
I have, and again, normally Crazy B and I talk about what the lineup is, and well, we're just have at it day, right?
Oh, fundamentally, it's the stuff
Whatever
we didn't
tab
get
she
to.
pulls up, okay. Whatever tab she pulls up, she's steering the ship. So go for it, Crazy B. I'll let you know if it rings a bell.
So, Pelosi is worried Republicans will cheat an election. A new The View moment shows just what crap they put on TV, and Dems scramble to worship at the altar of Trans Day. Rob Schmidt, news from the far left. I have not seen this, by the way, folks. I have no clue.
Pelosi has a theory about our upcoming elections.
With this president and these Republicans who have no commitment to the rule of law and doing things the appropriate way, we have to be on guard as to what they may try to do to the technology.
She is so drunk.
Creep into the technology and create a false count.
Remember when talking like this was a threat to democracy? Just even insinuating anything could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Potentially was a threat to democracy. And how much is old Nancy projecting here? A message from the party of housing project vote harvesting, rampant mail-in, and left-wing NGO ballot box stuffing. And they're worried about the integrity of the next election. The people that refuse to, I mean, they will fight to the death to prevent us from what? Asking for ID and citizenship in elections, even though every other first world country does that. They will fight to the death to prevent that. And she's worried about the integrity of the next election. Old Nancy. Next up, a look at the kind of content ABC is feeding housewives in this country.
Keep going. Go ahead.
Oh, keep going?
Keep it playing. Go ahead.
Country every day. Take a listen.
I think it's time for men to see what women have always known, which is that men hate us. You know, and it's not just young men. You know, I think there's a lot of ways that, it's more insidious when men get older and still hate women in different ways, you know, whether it's doctors and psychiatrists who are finding new ways to dismiss our symptoms, to call us crazy. Every time I go in to just talk about my feelings, I got diagnosed with ADD and OCD, and I don't have either. You're boring, and I'm...
Why would you go to the doctor to complain about the symptoms of ODD and ADD and not realize that you have them, just clearly in this conversation here, just to turn around and say, I don't have them? Nope, you have them, sweetheart. I can tell just by her behavior right now.
Right.
Okay,
I agree with all of that, but I also agree with the statement that women get older and hate men too. It goes both ways, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know,
the
like,
world's just a bunch of incels.
Exactly. What kind of what are you doing? Really? Are we going to do, you know, like, and do you see all of them looking at her like she's the brand new shiny object? Like, wow,
Brand new
that's
shiny
so
idiot.
profound. Yeah. I don't know who she is. I forgot to look her up. I don't know who she is.
I'm not
anyway,
sure.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't care. Keep going. I think they've been rotating in every couple weeks or so, Republican women, because I believe that Alyssa Fairhan or whatever, I think she was pregnant or whatever and is on maternity leave.
Oh, but, God.
Go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
I'm busy.
Let's bring on a chick that needs 30 pills to survive every day to talk about men on The View. That's a great idea. And by the way, men don't hate all women. They all hate you, anyone that's met you, because you're just a really, really obnoxious person. This is what The View is now, though. I mean, think about what this show has become, what it started as versus what it's become. It's a terrible show. And again, ABC. This is federally regulated broadcast networks. This is the crap they put on television now. Next up, props to CNN with an interesting interview with Sandro Castro, the grandson of Cuba's late dictator, Fidel Castro. CNN going into Havana.
Do we need to keep going, or was that?
Yeah, keep
good?
going, because it was the end that I wanted to do. Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Very interesting, an incredible moment when the young Castro says that the people of Cuba would now certainly prefer capitalism over the last 70 years of communism.
We actually would welcome, he says, speaking for himself, a deal with Donald Trump. What would your grandfather, Fidel Castro, say that you're more capitalist than communist?
My grandfather was a person who had his principles like everyone else, but he also respected others' opinions. There are many people in Cuba that think in a capitalistic way. There are many people here who want to have capitalism with sovereignty.
Props for admitting that the people of Cuba want capitalism because nobody else in that regime will. He's a little off on Grandpa, though. Grandpa killed people if they didn't agree with him ideologically. That's kind of how this all got started. And finally,
That is so
one of the
true.
most visible people to ever walk the planet. Needed a day of visibility, and today was that day. It's
This is what I
Transgender
could not unsee it. You all
Transgender
were
Day
going
of
to see it.
Visibility, so you can see them all over the world if you look hard enough. Activist
No,
Rachel
you don't even
Cranmer
gotta look
Cronford,
hard.
a man, licensed male psychotherapist, dressed as a woman, founder of Transgender Michigan, is the founder and organizer of the Holy Day to Spread Trans Joy. Yes, this person is a psychotherapist.
They
I'm
are
sure I would be
psychotic.
calling him first. Democrats love this stuff, of course, Transgender Visibility Day, including our Islamist, pro-trans, communist mayor, Mamdani. Love to see him take some of this nonsense with him to a Islamic country, by the way. Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey, everybody pandering to the LGBTQ movement's most elite group of victims, the trans people.
Happy Trans Day of Visibility to the
I
trans
can't
community
stand
in
that woman.
Seattle and across the country.
For too many trans people, we still see discrimination and policies that threaten their safety and dignity.
And across the country, we are seeing growing attacks on transgender people's rights, their safety and dignity.
And I will always, always stand with you.
And I am truly proud to stand with you now and forever, our trans community.
That's sweet. That'll be nice. And who can forget just 2 years ago, of course, former President Joe Biden proclaiming that Easter Sunday was also going to be Transgender Day of Visibility. Yes, they put it on Easter a couple of years ago. And then they put a topless dude with plastic boobs on the White House lawn. A picture that we will never forget.
You know,
I remember that.
Stories, the same spin. You turn the
Okay, so that's it
So-
for that. Yeah,
so-
wow.
Yeah, so what rights has the LGBTQ plus have been taken away?
None. Actually, the only thing that's different now is that we request you actually transition and don't be a creep just trying to get into women's spaces to make them uncomfortable because you get off on that. And we actually requested that if you are a trans child or in college or as an adult, you stay the hell out of the women's sports and you go to your biological sides competitions.
Right.
Other than that, nothing.
Or until you become 18 that know, what did we read the other day? I don't know the correct terminology, right? They weren't allowed to have certain blockers or something.
Puberty
There was a drug
blockers
or something.
until puberty
Yeah, there was
blockers
some-
or
yeah,
hormone therapy until you're over 18.
Right. Yeah, there was another word that I can't quite remember. It's in our previous videos that that was the only legislation that they were putting through because I believe the research was indicating once you get into your 20s on up, there were many regrets. And by that
Yes.
time, many kids have had body parts and that already, removed. So,
And that's
exactly.
the
So,
thing is,
we
like
don't-
back in the day, you used to have to go through upwards of a decade of therapy before they would even let you start doing hormone therapy and doing actual transitioning. You had basically had to pass as a cross-dresser. You had to pass as the opposite gender before they would even start taking it seriously. So again, for all these women who are out there worried, I guarantee you have shared the bathroom, a public restroom, with a trans person at least 5 times in your life and didn't know it. The fact is, these creeps who are now trying to transition are wanting to impede and impose themselves into women's spaces because they get off on making women uncomfortable. But before... I'd say before Obama took office, you've probably shared a public restroom with a trans woman maybe 5 times, 6 times. I swear. They are out there, they've been out there, but they don't want to impose their lifestyle on us, the older trans people. It's these young nut jobs that are more creeps than anything. So, yeah. I have no problem with the old school way. I like the old school way. I'm comfortable with that.
There are some decisions that even at 18 I question that. I'm not quite sure.
There are some people who say it shouldn't be till 26 because that's when the frontal lobe finally finishes developing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that as well.
Mm-hmm. And
but
again,
I don't have a child.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I don't have a child that's in that situation, so I can't, I can't say one way or another.
Yeah, and I've known people, adults, who were just fine as cross-dressers. I went to, I didn't go to school with the guy, but he went to a neighboring school and we met through community function stuff. He was, I wouldn't say gender dysphoric, but definitely preferred presenting as a female more often than not, even though it was not acceptable for him to do so in public. But in private, he was much more comfortable wearing makeup with shaved legs and everything. Very feminine, more than anything. And really cool guy. I had no problems with him. But back then, in high school, there wasn't really much for it. We were like, okay, gay people, whatever. No big deal. Bisexuals, so what? You guys want cookies? Okay. When I was in school, it was not a big deal. I mean, we'd joke around and call people all kinds of names that I can't repeat because we're on YouTube, but they also gave it right back. So, at least the ones I knew, I should say. The ones I knew did not take it so personally. They had thicker skin. It's like, geez. And this is from the generation that's right after if you came out publicly as gay, you got your ass beat by all your neighbors and everybody around you type of thing. This is the generation after that, where we were more open and accepting of it. That's their business, not mine type of lifestyle. And so, for me, knowing people who were trans and, I didn't know many of the trans people till I got more older. But the the kids that were my age that were starting to experiment into it. I absolutely knew a few. And like I said, for me, I don't care. As long as you're not doing it to be a creep and you're not going after kids, I'm good with you. I'm good. Like I said, I'll always, I can accept the old school ones. Just these new ones. Oh my God. The ones who got to flaunt it and expose it everywhere. Oh my God. We do not need extreme details of your sex life when I've just met you 10 minutes ago.
Fine.
So, yeah, I've had it with those kind of people. They can go away. If it was one of my kids, I would just be like, okay, and we're going to therapy. And confirming this before we do anything drastic.
There you go. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. What you got next?
This one actually kind of pissed me off. The judge blocking the 10 Commandments.
Okay, so, well, let me read it first, and then I'll give you my thoughts, because maybe my headache will be coming back.
Now, if they
Okay,
think they're doing
Wusabi.
this, if they think they're doing this for religious purposes, the Ten Commandments are the core tenet, like the core rules of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. The Ten Commandments are the big thing. They all come from Moses. That comes from Moses. It is God's word passed to us through Moses. So all three of those religions should have no complaints about the Ten Commandments. Just putting that out there for starters.
And this was not an April Fool's joke. A federal judge blocked a law requiring that the Ten Commandments monument at the Arkansas Capitol be removed. It's paused pending the appeal.
And I bet you this is all going to hinge on separation of religion and state.
Okay, a federal judge ruled Tuesday that Arkansas must remove a Ten Commandments monument from state capitol grounds, but put her order on hold so officials can appeal the decision. U.S. District Judge Christine Baker blocked enforcement of the 2015 law requiring the privately funded monument's installation, ruling that it violates the U.S. Constitution. Baker stayed her order, giving the state time to appeal to the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Jeff LeMaster, a spokesperson, why can't I talk? A spokesperson for Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin said Wednesday morning that they are reviewing the decision and considering their options. Do you remember yesterday when we were talking about being a comedy of errors, if we would be live on air trying to this would be another good day. You know that?
Yes.
This would, because now I'm going to be doing opponents of the display. No, I'm not. But maybe try enlarging it a little bit for me. Maybe
yeah,
that's my
absolutely. I will absolutely enlarge it. Is that better?
Anything to try to help me out. So Jeff LeMaster, a spokesperson for the Attorney General, Tim Griffin, said Wednesday morning that they're reviewing the decision and considering their options. Opponents of the display who filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State in 2018 argued the Ten Commandments Monument Display Act violates the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The First Amendment prohibits Congress from creating any law respecting an establishment of religion. Baker wrote in a 148-page order Tuesday that the law, together with the other evidence in the record, conveys a message that the Christian religion is favored and is a coercive. Here we go. Say it for me, B.
Coercive.
No, it isn't. It's coercive.
Coercive.
In violation.
Well, I'm using a different accent, but it means to be like to coerce, to kind of push people into it, whether they like it or not.
Yes, you don't want to coerce somebody into doing something in violation of the Establishment Clause. The Ten Commandments are foundational to Western civilization and the history of law in Arkansas, the secretary said. We are working closely with the Attorney General's office to protect this critical part of the Capitol in the courts. Arkansas has 30 days to appeal Baker's ruling. Supporters of the law have argued the Ten Commandments are important to the foundation of the nation's laws and legal system. Baker said the law has proven to be a divisive piece of legislation that placed a monument funded by religious entities and bearing religious text in front of a population of varying religion and non-religious beliefs. It did so for the purpose of commemorating the Ten Commandments, not to commemorate the state's religious heritage or the development of the law, Baker wrote. Plaintiffs in the case include an exercising group, that said it must pass the monument regularly while walking or cycling. The Arkansas Society of Freethinkers, the Satanic Temple, and a rabbi.
A rabbi is
ACLU
having a fit about the fucking Ten Commandments since when?
The ACLU of Arkansas, which represented the plaintiffs, called Tuesday's decision a major victory for religious freedom and the constitutional principle of church-state separation. This decision carefully walks through both history and precedent and reaches the right conclusion. The state cannot take sides in matters of religion. The Constitution requires government neutrality, not favoritism, not endorsement, and not promotion of religious doctrine. That principle protects everyone, regardless of what they believe. The Satanic Temple requests to install a statue of Baphomet, a goat-headed,
Baphomet, yep.
Okay, a goat-headed angel-winged creature in response to the Ten Commandments was blocked by a 2017 law that changed the process for approving any monument on the Capitol grounds. The legislature then passed a law permitting the construction of the Ten Commandments monument in 2015, and it was first installed in 2017. And in less than 24 hours of its installation, a man with a history of mental illness intentionally smashed his car into the display. The man had also destroyed a Ten Commandments monument outside Oklahoma's capital in 2014. Boy, he got around. Oklahoma's monument was replaced after its destruction, but the state Supreme Court in 2015 ordered it removed from Capitol grounds. Voters in 2016 rejected a change to the state's constitution that would have allowed the monument's return. A new Arkansas monument protected by concrete bollards was installed in 2018. It remains there. Several groups quickly filed lawsuits for the removal of the monument, and they all got swept up into one, which is now in its 8th year. Now that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Baker heard a full day of arguments in July. Blah, 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 blah. Keep going down, Crazy B. We don't got to read the whole thing. It just talks about the law and who sponsored it.
Seriously?
And, you know, if this is the case,
Why he don't even be none of it. That's my point.
I say then, why, if the Ten Commandments has to come down, why does somebody in a neighborhood have to listen to call to prayer 5 times a day?
Because it's not our Capitol building or our courthouses putting out the call to prayer. That's the difference.
Okay.
It's not a political building. It's not a government building.
And put it on some private.
Oh, you can put one in your yard. Put up a big Ten Commandments marble statue in your yard.
Do you know how many government offices have the Ten Commandments on their buildings?
As far as I'm understanding, most have been removed, except in a few states.
Well, I'll have to look into how many remain.
Yeah, as far as I understand, there are not many across the United States.
The other thing that's interesting is what is going on in Arkansas.
Okay, Amazon took that money.
Arkansas's been a Democrat stronghold for, well, at least in the major cities, for quite some time, and they've basically controlled the state, so, yeah.
Well, but they got Sarah Huckabee. They had Sanders in there. They had her dad in there before her. They had,
It's where
they
Bill
had a
Clinton
Republican
and
governor.
his family is from.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Been kind of, they have the Republican and Democrat, representatives, but it's when you talk about governors and stuff, mayors of the major cities, Mostly Democrat, if I remember correctly. And I can only
Yeah, I'm
remember back
trying to
to the
think
late
of.
80s, so I'm doing
Yeah,
my
her
best.
dad, Huckabee, oh, he was there for at least 2 terms. I don't know. It just seems like lately they've been in the news a lot. That we've
A
been
lot of
seeing a lot of
places are
stuff from.
going downhill when it comes to some of this stuff. But I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, they were pushing to get the Ten Commandments removed from schools and courtrooms because it shows a religious bias. Yes, America was founded on Christian values and all that, but
Oh yeah,
they did agree that religion needed to be separated from the government because of like what we saw happen in Europe when the popes were dictating the leaders and of the different kings and queens and whatever princes and stuff, causing all kinds of chaos in Europe.
okay, so
That's why.
I don't know.
I mean, as long as our laws are founded on the morals taught. And again, I don't know many religions where killing people is wrong and stealing is wrong. I mean, where it would be considered right. Okay, so again, fundamentally, all of our laws are based on moral justification, moral rights, and doing things the right way. So, I mean, are we really missing anything with those? And I'm using logic and devil's advocate. I really am one who would prefer it to be there, but let's play it from the other side. Is it really needed to have the Ten Commandments sitting there?
It's a historical monument.
It's a religious monument, not necessarily historical.
Well,
Ten Commandments was created almost 4,000 years ago.
I'm talking about buildings that were perhaps built in the 1900s that have them affixed to it.
I don't know. What they do with those. And that's again where that was before people realized that, having those as a religious icon, because, it is technically quoting the Bible word for word. I don't know what they're going to do with it. And I just, I'm playing devil's advocate. If that was the case, they'd cover it up with a banner, something, a flag would be the option, I guess. I don't care. I'm not saying I support it. I'm coming from their logic. I would say cover it up with an American flag or something if it was me supporting that.
Well, go scroll back up. You see how big that monument is. That's coming down.
Oh, yeah, because it's not affixed to a building.
Right, that's coming down.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. It's in a park. It's not in... It's in a park near the political buildings? The government buildings? Or is it actually in front of a government building? I can't. I'm cutting my glasses. I can't see.
There's picnic tables in the back. There's a bunch of. So it looks like it's in the back of. Looks like it's in the back of a building. To be honest, there's.
It's on display outside of the Arkansas State Capitol, so it is on government land.
Yeah.
And I can if they move it off of government land, maybe across the road. Can't do jack shit then. Where there's a will, there's a way. Just pick it up and move it.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't got to destroy it. You can just move it to another spot of the city. I mean, how long has it been there? Oh, they said it's been there since 2015, I think they said.
Right. 17 that got put up.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. In this case, pick it up and move it. If you don't want it destroyed, pick it up and move it to somewhere else in town. Just don't put it on government land.
It just truly is amazing to me that just how many people got to fuck with people
I love the Star of David down here.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you can't just walk on by. It's got to bother you that much. You got to file a lawsuit.
It's not about it bothers them. It's about controlling. It's about having control.
Exactly. It's all about control. All these lawsuits that we've been reading about. Just now, the honey bunch of oats. I thought they got around that by saying, natural flavors along with artificial flavor. So
a lot of places do.
I know, right? As long as they put that artificial thing in there, they're probably good. But, I said, we perhaps are in the wrong business. Why don't we just start nitpicking every place that files a lawsuit, we file a counter lawsuit. I wish I was wealthy enough to do that.
Subway
just sit around and talk with people all day.
Subway almost had to stop announcing it as a foot-long sub because it wasn't actually 12 inches long. It was a couple centimeters. It was like a centimeter short.
Yep, I remember that.
People are going to be petty. And that's the problem with society, is we have petty people, we have narcissistic people. And again, this is not really offensive, in my opinion. Even coming at it from a neutral perspective, this is not offensive. They're just being dicks because they can. They're not offended. They're just being dicks. But they are right about the fact that we are supposed to separate religion from the government, and by it being on government property, they're not wrong either. They're dicks, but they're not wrong.
I could see if it was in the building, but it's outside. I'm done with it. I'm just saying.
I get it. I know. It pisses me off, too. I said it.
Okay, so what about the proclamations that we've heard these mayors say that it's this day for this religion, this day for that religion?
You're never going to see that for Christianity.
We're going to embrace this. Exactly. Why not? So
because Christianity has run its course. Christianity has run its course. It's losing its power. It has no grip on the world anymore. So it's going to the wayside like the Greek and ancient Roman mythologies and Norse mythologies.
Yeah.
It's all going to go to the wayside. This is history. I mean, I'm shocked Judaism made it as long as it did. Like, shit, it's still going. And I'm stunned. I mean, Hinduism and Buddhism are also ancient religions that go back to almost the same time of Jesus. And they are starting to fall to the wayside too, to Christianity and Islam. Right. They're being taken over, kind of pushed to the side. And I live my life the way I do, my choice. You guys know that. But I do think it's wrong that we have to... There's no way in God's green earth that's impacting the judge's judgment on how the laws are put forth and all that. It's literally just a reminder of the nation's beginnings. And like I said, technically, by the Constitution, the dicks are right.
So we've also seen where we've had the squad call for the elimination of the Constitution as well, saying it was ancient and archaic.
Until they're going to cry First Amendment rights and democracy. That they need that Constitution. I mean, come on, they're just trying to pacify some communist group out there that wants to destroy it. They're just pacifying people. Yep. They scream about destroy the Constitution, and then the next day, they violated my First Amendment right by telling me not to say that. Like, you fucking idiots. Yep. I roll my eyes so much at them. No, those are fucking idiots. I don't know how they even count as an opinion.
They don't, but when you get people like Mandami in and the 19, additional Muslims that have taken some type of office, we're going to see this insurgence eventually. Hopefully I'll be dead by then. But Maybe not, because, the predictors of what they thought were going to happen geographically happened way faster than they ever thought.
But they've won a lot in some countries, but they're hindered in others. So it's Japan has had zero tolerance.
Yeah.
So has Poland.
Right.
Poland told them to fuck off or get shot.
I meant in general for what the U.S. was going to experience.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the predictors of what we were to see wasn't going to happen slowly, but start to trickle in towards 2060. And Biden just opened the floodgates.
Well, honestly, if we would have left it to run its natural course, it would have taken another 1,000 years in total to wipe out the different races because of all the multicultural breeding. I hate to word it that way, but we're people are marrying into other cultures. Religions get adopted through that kind of process, and it would all become one race, one religion within about 1,000 years if we were to leave it go naturally. Yeah. But these assholes decided it needed to be hurried up. And yeah, it is what it is at this point. What can you do? Right. You can't stop it. You can only pray and keep living your life the best way you can. I mean, I know I sound black-pilled, but it's literally what the Bible said to do.
We shall see what life brings.
Change is scary. I will admit at least that much. Change is scary.
Well, I don't want to have to do any of the three. I don't want to take any of the three options that are given to me. I'm not converting. I'm not giving you any of my money. And I don't want to be killed quite yet.
Oh, that's not going to happen right now. We're looking at least another 20 years before the rural areas start getting forced to do anything. At least 20 years.
Yeah, and I could still be alive. Hopefully not, but I could be.
And there is the option of going about it to, in God's name, like the Knights did during the Crusades, until the Catholic Pope said suicide became a sin.
Yep, all that. Yep. Is there
the kamikaze Knights? The kamikaze Knights. There we go.
Yep. Is there purgatory or isn't there? That is the question.
Depends on who you talk to.
Exactly. Do you want to take that risk?
Given God sent me back twice and told me not my time, I'm not too concerned one way or the other.
Back again. We ain't coming back again.
Third time's a charm, right, God?
I've had my 4 turns. 5th time, I ain't coming back. I've already warned all of you. If it happens again and I have a choice, we are not coming back. Nope, not.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
Yep. I ain't going my way back from the store again. Nope, it ain't happening. Enough is enough. I put my time in.
And
just have
again,
to suffer without me.
No one knows what the future holds. We know, some of us know what we've experienced and what we haven't. Others have never even come close to having a near-death experience. I've had it. So, who knows? I can only tell you guys what I've gone through. And the fact that God literally said, not your time. And I woke up in an asthma attack and almost had to go to the hospital. I'm pretty sure I was dead at that moment. But it happens. So let's see what God has to bring. Why fight it? Why argue it? Just do what you got to do. I don't think kamikaze knighthood is an option. I'm not a big fan of that option. I'm more of a hide in the hills and pass on the information quietly person. But, that's me.
And I'll fight till the death. Leave me behind.
I'm all good playing it smart and passing on the info down the road. So.
Will you do that?
I'll do what I can. I promise.
You do that. You do what you can. I'm done. All right, what's up next?
Well, actually, this all kind of rolls into what's next.
This is a fine freaking topic. I was just going to say for Good Friday. You know that?
And this is what we were we thought about talking about Thursday, but we decided today would be better. And because of the way it was ordered, it was a very good segue into the current holidays. Blue says, okay, but I want my inheritance. She wants her inheritance.
There you go. All right, you try reading that article, Crazy G.
Okay, I will do that. And what is Good Friday? I have a feeling I may make corrections because this is PBS, and I'm sure there's some kind of propaganda thrown in here. So, Good Friday is unique. No, I don't want to donate. Okay. Good Friday is unique, a uniquely solemn day in the Christian calendar. I don't think it was so much solemn. No, most of the churches I go to, it's not like a day of mourning. No, we discuss it. We thank God for what it was. We thank Jesus for his sacrifice. And actually, Good Friday is Good Friday is the day he died. 3 days later is when he rose, which is Easter. That's right. So it commemorates the crucifixion and the death of Jesus ahead of what the central tenet of faith for believers. His resurrection 2 days later on Easter, according to the Gospels. Now, if I remember correctly, Good Friday correlates somehow to the Passover and Judaism. The date somehow correlates, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look further into that one. So, this year it falls on April 3rd for Catholics and Protestants, and April 10th for the Orthodox Christians. And if that's confusing to you, there's more, because it's not just Orthodox Christians, Protestants, and Catholics. There is actually more versions of Christianity, and some don't even celebrate Easter. So, or Good Friday, or any of that. So, but for the particular ones, yes. So, across the Christian denominations, Good Friday services are unlike those of most other days. That depends. They often include centuries-old, once-a-year traditions, both during the liturgy, and out in the streets, where celebrations, processions, and other rituals of fervent popular piety are held. Now, hold on, PBS, I got news for you. Not once in any of the places have I lived has there been a religious parade for Easter. In Europe, it was allowed. I don't know now because of the Muslim takeover. But in America, we have Easter Bunny Parade. We have never had a Good Friday type procession type of thing. I have been to many branches of Christianity's churches. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know, but I was going to say I don't know. What day did they do the
Ash Wednesday would have been just this past Wednesday, wasn't it? Because it's Ash Wednesday, then
I'm trying to think back to. I can't get dates straight in my head on church days from being a little kid and what happened and carrying the crucifix.
All the churches I've been to, I've never seen a procession in my lifetime. Yeah, it might date before me.
There's been processions through the streets with, somebody reenacting Jesus carrying the cross, him being
in the streets.
I didn't even think. Oh yeah, there were parades.
Wow, because my entire life, it's never been accepted because of the religious freedom bullshit.
I'm a tad older than this.
I know. I know.
I didn't even think that didn't even dawn on me to think about that till just now. Now we're going to be up all night thinking about that.
Yeah, because in my lifetime, I have absolutely never seen a ritualistic reenactment or anything. Ash Wednesday was February 18th this year. Okay, thank you, Blue. My bad. So I'm not sure, because like I said, in my lifetime, I've never seen it. Now, have they reenacted in the church? Yeah, in the church, but not outside of the church. The state would not allow it.
Yeah. Yeah, this was in the street.
Then it was definitely before the laws changed, probably in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, big time. And,
yeah. Go ahead.
But I mean, if there's allowed to be Trans Day, why isn't there allowed to be Christian Day or
because it's not a religion.
Oh, it isn't?
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't qualify as a religion.
That's dripping with sarcasm, in case you can't tell.
I actually am having a hard time with telling. I apologize. I don't mean to. But you know me, it's sometimes really hard to tell. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's dripping with sarcasm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Catholics gather. It's only it's the only day without an actual mass because there's no sacrament or Eucharist, which is the transformation of bread and wine into Jesus's body and blood according to the church. Orthodox Christians don't celebrate the Eucharist either on that what they call the Great and Holy Friday. Most mainline Protestant denominations and evangelical also hold unique services, like the Lutheran devotion focused on biblical accounts of Jesus' last words on the cross, though they are not as strict on fasting as the Catholics and the Orthodox Christians. Which is, I remember being in, I'd say, late elementary, so like 4th grade, and my parents had me in a private school that was run by a Lutheran church, and I had to play the bells. They had, the little handbells for the songs.
Right.
I was part of that for the Good Friday and Easter that year. And wasn't anything really out of the ordinary from any other church, in my opinion, that I've been to. They just keep rereading the story of Jesus' crucifixion for each service until, Easter is past. So.
Right.
Church services tend to last more than an hour, usually starting at 3 p.m. when traditions say Jesus died. But even though it's not a day of obligation and it's a workday in the United States, churches tend to be packed. Yes, because you can get a day off for religious holiday based on your personal religion and preferences, but you have to have a lot of proof of it, and depending on where you work.
Well, a lot of places have gotten away from all of that and have just gone to PTO time. So
yeah,
they've eliminated the need to even know your private business. So
luckily, my son has Sunday off anyways. Even though we don't really go to church like that, it's still something, we talk about. Or I try to talk about. Whether they listen or not is a whole nother story. Blue says, true, but there will be a mass this Sunday for Easter. Yeah, depending on the different churches and how Orthodox and unorthodox they are. Because I know, for all the people who just say it's a Catholic church, they forget there's Orthodox and unorthodox Catholics as well. So
we're Lutheran and we have church on Sunday. So there's and Lutherans one step down removed from Catholics. So
and then there's ones below Lutherans that have branched off and. Don't even get me started on that nightmare of a family tree of Christianity. God, it's the one thing that it's like, people, Hell no, you're just branching off because you disagree with one little aspect or two, and you just started a whole new version of the same thing. Okay.
Kind of sounds like Congress, right?
Yeah. That's why I don't like organized religion. There's too much politics in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the time leading up to Good Friday is a big reflection on the sacrifice. Yes. What he did for me and what I'm going to do in return, said Manuel Leon, 22, a member of Miami's Corpus Christi Catholic Church youth group. Really? Body of Christ Catholic Church. Anyways, he will carry a grimly realistic statue of Jesus crucified in the procession through the hip central neighborhood on Good Friday. I swear.
So there you go.
States forbid this, but okay. Pushing that statue from the back and seeing how torn up he is, what he did for us really becomes real. Yeah. Or it gave you nightmares, depending on how old you were. Ancient forms of liturgy mark Good Friday. Some of the most ancient what the fuck tongue liturgical practices.
Let's go with liturgical. I like that. Let's go with
liturgical. I know there's a better way to pronounce it, but you know what? It's one word in this entire thing that I struggled with so far.
I know.
One word.
Hold up, I'm laughing too
liturgical.
I might have to mute myself.
I'm having a day with that word. I know that word. I know how to pronounce it, but my brain does not want to communicate with my tongue. In my head, it's right. Coming out of my mouth, it is what the fuck.
Wait, I can't. I'm dead. Yes, I'm so.
My verbal dyslexia has absolutely reared its ugly head 3/4 of the way through an article. Thank you, brain. I like liturgical better, but I know it's liturgical.
Wait. Liturgical. I don't even know at this point. It is now number 1 on the list of our fuck-ups.
You know what's funny is I know the word.
I know.
I know it. I've used it millions of times in the past.
I know.
So I'm saying it today.
Oh
my brain's like, fuck you, biatch, I'm not doing it. Well, actually, my brain's going to do it, but my tongue is like, yeah, you know what? Tongue, vocal cords, fuck you.
You know what? This is worthy of a YouTube short.
I agree. I agree. This will get turned into a short this weekend because I don't know how the fuck I mixed it up so bad when I actually know the fucking word. I've used this word. I've used bigger words. I've used Latin, Greek, all kinds of languages for medicine. And I can't pronounce this one right. What the fuck, brain? I know I have kind of, it's like a weird form of dysphagia or something, where sometimes my words just do not work. It just cannot work.
Hey, you saw my previous article. Oh my god, that was liturgical. Oh.
Liturgical. I like liturgical.
Liturgical. Oh, that's good.
Liturgical. And now my daughter's coming in to tell me to shut up and quit yelling.
I'm tricked.
You sounded like your sister walking through. Oh my god.
I have crusty dried on deodorant on my arm.
Go take a shower. I don't care about crusty dried on deodorant under your armpits. Go. Oh my god, please pray for me. Pray for me. Oh my god.
Okay.
Between the word and my son.
Start that whole paragraph over.
Hell, I am. So, some of the most liturgical or literal, yeah, fuck it, I ain't trying it again. Practices define Good Friday services for Catholics, said Reverend John Baldovin, a professor of historical and whatever the fuck again theory at Boston College. Yeah, I'm sorry, God. You can smite me at any time, please. I beg you.
Dead.
Oh, the
I'm
most
so
solemn.
dead.
No, you're not. You're still talking.
Oh, you made my day, girl. That had to be the fucking funniest thing.
I really was not expecting it after doing so damn good, and I used to be a terrible public reader. I've always struggled with. I can read in my head, like, I think they said it was something on the lines of like, I think it was upwards of like 100 or 200 plus words a minute. I can read really fast and retain it, but to read it out loud is a lot more complicated for my brain. So
that's because our brain is reading ahead, and it's reading and we're reading faster than our mouth is working.
Yes, and that is my problem. And so I had to learn to slow myself down,
so
but I still fuck up.
And because you slow yourself down, that's not your natural rhythm, and so that's where we mess up, because we're trying to be at an even keel instead of reading as we're normally, at our normal fast pace.
Yeah, y'all would struggle to keep up if I could talk as fast as my brain is working right now.
Yeah, right.
You guys would probably be really mad at me.
Because we're done. We're already on to the next subject already. So we're trying to go into
when we're not spending 15 minutes laughing at ourselves for really not being able to pronounce a word that's so easy to pronounce.
Right. Oh gosh. And it's terrible, because what I hate is when you come up on the word and you're going to mess it up. And there's nothing you can do to stop. You know what I mean? You just know you're just going to mess it up as soon as you see it, you know the definition, you know how to spell it.
I went into it knowing how to pronounce it. But then my mouth decided, no, fuck you, brain. I'm not listening, and did what it wanted. I literally read it in my head properly, but could not get my mouth to speak it.
I know.
Oh, I know why it's a demonic word, and God's telling me I can't speak it. There we go.
Okay, there you go. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. Anyways, the most solemn days tend to retain the oldest ceremonies, he added. An example, including as example, the fact that priests and ministers prostrate themselves, and we're not talking the organ around a male rectum, in front of the altar at the beginning of service, which is actually kind of against what Jesus wanted people to do, and it kind of goes against one of the 10 commandments, but let's not nitpick the religions right now. Another ancient tradition is the extensive prayers of the faithful, interspersed with, how can I say interspersed in genuflections, but not the other one, which today include.
I don't.
How can I say here interspersed and genuflections? I can say those. Can't say the other one. Okay, so which today include intentions as varied as praying for the Pope, or for the Jewish people, and for those who do not believe in God. This is solely, okay, I'm going to point this out really quick right now. This is solely reflecting the Catholic perspective of Good Friday. It is not reflecting all forms of Christianity right now. This is where it becomes biased. They're basically making all Christians look like Catholics. I don't like that.
Right.
I really don't like it because, yeah, it's not accurate. Now, we pray for the Pope is not our ruler of the religion.
Right.
In basic Christianity, outside of the ancient versions, the Pope's not the head of the church. It's it's like a group of people who head up the church and what should be taught, when, where, why. We do pray for the Pope's health and the Catholics and everybody else on the planet equally. But that's every Sunday though. That I remember the lesser churches, or they've broken off churches from the Catholics. The ones I went to, we always prayed for everyone. Every single Sunday, every single Wednesday, every single day of the week, you pray for everybody on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You pray that they'll be saved. You'll pray that they'll join us in heaven one day. However you want to word it. So the fact that they claim that this is the only day when that happens in a year, I call bullshit. And it's, again, if that is true with the Catholics, then that's only the Catholics in this one church. So I don't like how they're kind of lumping all Christians into this when it does not represent all Christians. So,
Anyways. Right, we got it. Keep going.
Up until Holy Week reforms introduced by the Vatican in the 1950s, communion wasn't distributed on Good Friday, though now it is, with the hosts consecrated a day earlier, and on Holy Thursday, Beldoven said. But the highlight of the ceremony is the adoration of the cross, which in many cases is held up near the altar as the faithful line up to kiss it and touch it in reverence. Oh, you mean like the idols that we were told not to do this with? Okay. Good job, Ten Commandments in the Catholics. So among the earliest documents of this practice is the diary of the pilgrim who, in the 4th century, went from what is today Spain to Jerusalem. Beldoven said, there at the present-day Church of the Holy Sepulchre, a bishop held up the cross for several hours as the faithful venerated it. And again, this violates the 10 Commandments. Thou not to worship idols and other gods. Oh, my Lord. All right, sorry. I'm going to put my nitpicking aside. Life-size statues of Jesus' crucifixion, the Weeping Virgin Mary, and representations of scenes from the Gospels accounts of Jesus' torture, death, and the cross as carried in large processions in different parts of the world. Some of the oldest and most awe-inspiring are in South Spain, Seville. Now, I've seen that one on video. It is amazing to watch, even though I don't necessarily agree with what they are doing. It is still amazing to watch. Where tens of thousands of people must watch much venerated images of Jesus and Mary being carried in hours-long procession throughout Holy Week. Not all of us have the ability to look to the sky and feel fulfilled. Others, like me, need to see the images, said Manolo Gobea. He moved from Seville to Miami 30 years ago. Why did they say 3 decades? 30 years is acceptable. And now heads the brotherhood that organizes the Good Friday procession, starting from Body of Christ Church and winding its way through the graffiti-splashed neighborhoods of Wynwood. Okay. As the main Seville-made statues exit the palm fringed church, they're carried over intricate carpets made of colored sawdust and flowers. That's a nod to another tradition that perhaps most exuberantly followed the colonial city of Augustina, Guatemala, where miles of these carpets are created for Holy Week, twice on Good Friday. On Good Friday, we feel the pain of Mary, Jesus's pain, his surrender for love, and Sylvia Armira, as she said Sylvia Armira as she prepared the carpet drawings for the procession in Miami, where she arrived from Guatemala in the 1990s. It's the great love of God who gave up his only son for us. Now, how much longer is this? Oh, okay. A couple more paragraphs.
Yep.
Solemn and popular rituals on Good Friday vary from the Pope's traditional way of the cross in Rome to a trek to the Adobe Sanctuary, Chimayo in New Mexico, to self-flagellation and even crucifixion in the Philippines. I don't think they actually crucify someone, but they reenact a person on the cross, if I remember correctly, in the Philippines. But they don't actually kill the person. It's just a actual live person reenactment. For many priests, they are all opportunities to take faith out of the church and into the streets to evangelize. Okay, and to put... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, and to point out the gruesome death on the cross isn't the end of the story. Our procession is a cry to the world. Get out, look at what is the way, the truth, and the life, said Reverend Jose Luis Menendez. May your entire attitude be a living prayer, the Cuban-born Spanish-raised pastor at Body of Christ in Miami told more than 100 faithful at the last rehearsal for this year's procession. Carefully watching over SUV-sized floats covered in silver-plated ornaments, flowers, vases, and candlesticks, Gobea said the main appeal to Good Friday celebration is that they lead from death to Easter joy. To the Weeping Mary, we put flowers, we sing hymns, and that's because we know how it ends, which is the resurrection, he said. Like I said, I pointed out there's a few differences depending on which church you're going to, which part of the world you're in. But, yeah. I just don't like how it's so biased and lumps all Christians into one category that we're not. So, other than that.
Right. All right, what you got next?
Let's see if it'll load. Holy Saturday, the final day of the week, and the Lenten season falling between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. Well, no shit, it's called Holy Saturday. What comes between Friday and Sunday? Saturday. Sorry.
It does.
It's like when something that simple doesn't really need to be explained that much. I mean, oh my Lord. It commemorates the day Jesus Christ's body lay in the tomb after his crucifixion, and in many traditions, his harrowing of hell, his descent to the realm of the dead before his resurrection. That is kind of tied up in Christianities in general. Of course, you're not going to find it in Judaism or the other ones, but I know most of the churches I went to talked about the harrowing of hell, and very similar to a couple of other ancient mythologies. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be a day of silence. Well, good luck. My kids are always asking me questions. It is marked by a somber atmosphere of waiting, prayer, and reflection. Yeah. I'm not going to pronounce that.
Oh, what's that word?
And the Catholics and many Anglican, whatever, and Lutheran traditions, no Mass is celebrated during the day. The altar remains stripped bare to symbolize mourning. And the Easter Vigil is the observance. The observance culminates after nightfall with Easter Vigil, the primary Easter service. The joyous celebration includes lighting a new fire and a Paschal candle. I'm not familiar with that term, surprisingly, which symbolizes the light of Christ returning to the world. Oh, yeah, this is the time of year when baptisms are most common. Historically, this has been a primary day for baptizing and welcoming new converts into the church. Yep. That I did know as well. Black Saturday, common in the Philippines and other Catholic regions, reflecting a time of deep mourning. The Great Sabbath, yes, from the Orthodox Church. For the resting in the tomb, Easter Eve, and Joyous Saturday. What is it? Black Saturday or Joyous Saturday? So anyways.
I think that's Black Friday you're thinking of.
No, they have Black Saturday right here, which is out of the Philippines. And then Joyous Saturday is more of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church Christians. So, whatever. To each their own, right? So, that basically explains that. The Holy Saturday, that falls between, well, Good Friday and Easter Sunday. So, all right.
You mean Friday and Monday? What that is? Friday and Sunday, I mean.
Friday and Sunday,
go
yeah.
See Daddy. Casey, go see Daddy. Go. Eric. I got to mute a minute.
Okay. I'll wait till you get back, and then we can tap into the next one. Oh, Lordy. Words are not my friend today.
All right. I'm back.
All right.
Go see Daddy. I told him, go. Honest to God, please. Why? Why? Just why?
Because you are the boss of the house and he knows it.
I know. Go see Daddy. And get in your bed. All right. What's next?
We were going to cover actual Easter. I'm blinded.
Okay.
So,
You're
Easter.
not hidden. We're blinded by the light.
And there's no dark mode, so I can't switch it. Easter, the principal festival of the Christian Church, which celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ on the third day after his crucifixion. The resurrection is a central doctrine of Christianity and forms the basis of salvation and the hope of eternal life. As its feast, Easter is a joyful affirmation of the belief that through Jesus' conquering of death, all Christians will subsequently share in his victory over sin, death, and the devil. Although still predominantly a religious festival in some places, the introduction of customs such as egg hunts and treat-filled baskets from the Easter Bunny go way back. We're going to talk way, way back. Has gradually led to the holiday being embraced by both Christians and secular communities, particularly in the United States and the UK. And that goes all the way back to the Norse culture in a lot of ways. Very beautiful story in itself about, how spring comes around and the marking, the symbolism of the eggs and the rabbit and all this stuff. So, but I don't think we're going to go into that deep of it. The gospel accounts the resurrection of Jesus presents differing details about who saw him and where he was seen. According to Matthew, an angel showed the empty tomb to Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. His mother? Really? His mother is the other Mary? It was his mother and Mary Magdalene who went to the tomb. You're really going to call his mother the other Mary? What the? Sorry. I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm sorry. And introduced them to the disciples to go to Galilee. While still in Jerusalem, the two Marys saw Jesus, who told them the same thing, and he appeared once more to his disciples in Galilee. Now, what they're leaving out is that Jesus appeared as a different man. He appeared physically different, but it was Peter who doubted him, correct? If I remember correctly, and asked for proof. But anyways, so technically Jesus came back and possessed a different body. He like a ghost, or he possessed someone. If you think about that.
I don't remember that. No.
Depending on which version of the Bible you're reading.
Yeah,
anyway.
We weren't taught that.
That's one of the things that was brought. That's why I think it was Peter. They called he was doubting Peter. At one point, they referred to him as it was Peter who doubted Jesus's resurrection and asked for proof. All right. Where did I leave off? Matthew's account implied in Mark, through the Gospel of Mark, does not have a resurrection story, instead ending with the empty tomb. So we get bits and pieces from those two. According to Luke, however, while the disciples remained in Jerusalem, the women, Mary Magdalene, Jonah, Mary the mother of James, and the other women found the empty tomb. Two men in dazzling clothes told them Jesus had arisen. Later, Jesus appeared to two of the followers on the road to Emmaus near Jerusalem, then Peter, and later to the disciples. John, now in the chapters, you can see that, mentions sightings in Galilee and Jerusalem. The book of Acts provides more extensive series of appearances than Luke, though written by the same author, but it places all others in or near Jerusalem. Holy shit. Paul lists a bunch of people to whom Jesus appeared, does not agree very closely with the other account. So take your pick. So
right.
That's where there's a lot of
something for everybody.
Argument.
Yeah, there's something for right.
It's like that game of telephone. People adding things in and taking things out. So, although the witnesses and the location of the resurrected Christ are not consistent across the gospel accounts, 2 points are consistent and important. The sources describe the resurrection of Jesus as neither a resurrected corpse or a badly wounded man staggering around, nor a ghost. According to Luke, the first two disciples to see Jesus walked with him for several hours without recognizing him. That's what I mean by physically different. They literally did not recognize him. Luke also reports that Jesus could disappear and reappear at will. For Paul, the bodies of the Christian believers will be transformed to be like the Lord's, and the resurrection body will not be flesh and blood. So what? He was like 3D projection? I'm trying to figure this out.
Right.
According to these two authors, Jesus was substantially transformed, but he was not a ghost. Luke said explicitly. Okay. And Luke's an expert on ghosts. How? And Paul insists on using the word body as part of the term spiritual body rather than spirit or ghost. Luke and Paul do not agree entirely, since Luke attributes flesh and bone to the risen Jesus, Luke's account nevertheless requires a transformation. The authors, in other words, were trying to explain something for which they did not have precise vocabulary for, as Paul's term spiritual body makes clear. Yep. Okay, the writers of the New Testament nowhere made the resurrection of Christ a matter of argument, but everywhere asserted it and assumed it. The resurrection marked the beginning of Christ's elevation to glory, and the biblical authors used it as a bias for 3 kinds of affirmations. The resurrection of Jesus was the way God bore witness to his Son, the declaration of the Son of God with the power according to the Spirit of holiness by resurrection from the dead. This theme was also prominent in Acts. The resurrection was the basis for the Christian hope for life after death, according to Thessalonians, which Paul wrote. And without it, that hope was said to be baseless. What he put into Corinthians, his letter to the Corinthians. The resurrection of Christ was also the ground for admissions to manifest a newness of life. And that's the letter Paul wrote to the Romans. To seek the things that are above. The writers of the New Testament themselves expressed no doubt that the resurrection had really happened, but Paul's discussion in the 1 Corinthians shows among those who heard the Christian message, there was such doubt as well as efforts to rationalize the resurrection. The differences among the Gospels and between the Gospels and Paul suggest that from the outset, a variety of traditions existed regarding the details of the resurrection. But such differences only serve to emphasize how universal the faith in the resurrection was amid the variety of traditions. Okay. So, how long is this? Because I know we're running low on time. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it keeps going and going.
Okay, so they can... Yeah, what do we have after this?
Something about the different Easter traditions and where they originated from.
Okay, why don't this will be in the description listed below. You can read this if you want to pull the next one up.
Oh, it was Doubting Thomas. Oh my God, thank you, Blue Rose. My memory is shot, but at least I was on there. I was on the right path. Sorry, I didn't see the comment earlier. Okay, so, yep, it'll be in the description. Next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The surprising origins of your favorite Easter tradition. Hunting for eggs out on the front lawn, snacking on jelly beans, and debating who gets the biggest chocolate bunny. Well, my parents always got us the same size. Sound familiar? These are Easter traditions many of us grew up with. They're not just random activities. Each one has roots to go back decades and even centuries. God, I can't read anymore. This is so damn small. Hold on. I might need you to take over.
Whenever you're ready.
Go ahead. My mouth is dry. Let me get some water.
Okay. All right. So hunting for eggs on the front lawn, snacking on jelly beans, and debating who gets the biggest chocolate bunny. Sound familiar? These are the Eastern traditions many of us grew up with, and they're not just random activities. Each one has roots that goes back decades or even centuries, and surprisingly, many of the most American ones didn't actually start here. They were brought over from other countries and eventually became part of the fabric of the holiday. So, who do we have to thank for Easter's colorfully dyed eggs? Baskets filled to the brim with candy and all the rest. We're about to tell you along with the fascinating stories behind them. And again, this is a Reader's Digest article. We have about 9 minutes left. We'll skim through this, and this will be listed in the description below. We've already gone through celebrating Easter Sunday. Yes, right. Eating an Easter feast. Many Christians observe Lent, a 40-day period during which they vow to abstain from something such as sugar, alcohol, meat, or pretty much any other vice you might have as a type of purification in preparation for Easter. It symbolizes the 40 days Jesus spent fasting in the desert and culminates in a giant Easter feast, usually with family. Giving back to the community, Easter just isn't about sharing Easter memes and egg hunts. It's also a great time to give back. For Christians, Jesus' triumph over death was also a call to help those in need through sacrifice and acts of service. Easter is a time for putting faith into action, via kindness and sacrifice. This Easter Sunday, consider donating items you no longer need or purchasing new ones for families in need. You can also make volunteering a yearly Eastern tradition by helping distribute food or supplies to those less fortunate.
You can also do that
And
all
one
year
comment
long.
with this crazy bee.
Go ahead.
Yes, and we've talked about the larger organizations such as Goodwill, Salvation Army, and we talked about some of the problems that they have, the Red Cross, and what so there are many local women's shelters, men's shelters, homeless shelters, veterans hospitals, anything, that you're not using, they can use. So I would suggest taking them directly to a site like that versus one of the big box places.
Yep. And you can also do this all year round. You don't have to do it just on Easter Sunday. That's one of the problems I have, is that they encourage it more on the holidays versus just sacrificing every day for your community. Because Jesus didn't just do it a couple days out of his lifetime. He did it every day. So, that's my argument.
Hosting an Eastern bonfire, also known as a Paschal fire or Osterfeuer. The Easter bonfire is a German tradition in which Christian communities create bonfires the night before Easter Sunday to welcome the holiday. Obviously, you can start your own backyard bonfire, roasting marshmallows or peeps, and enjoying the treats with your loved ones.
Only thing peeps are good for is biting their heads off.
I like to put them in the refrigerator or the freezer. Or let them get stale.
Yep.
You could decorate an Easter tree. You've seen colorful eggs hanging from trees. And what the heck is that word? Hope?
It's supposed to be hope, not nope.
What is that? Yeah, and hope.
Oh, wait.
Those aren't
and
just
nope,
a
those
quirky
are
decoration.
Oh, it is nope. Oh my God,
And
I'm
nope,
sorry.
those aren't. Yeah, and nope. Yeah, I was like, it looked like an H though. And nope, those aren't just a quirky decoration. The tradition of decorating trees and bushes with eggs, known as a
It's Swedish, but
Osterreierbaum,
they're putting the German version, but it actually much
Germanic.
older.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead. Don't bother.
Osterreierbaum, Osterreich. Well, I'll leave it at that. That is a German name, and I'll tell you about it later. Oh, it says originated in Germany centuries ago as a way to celebrate spring and fertility. Families would hang hand-painted eggs on branches to symbolize new life after the long winter. German immigrants brought the custom to the U.S. in the 19th century, and over time, it evolved into a festive decoration both indoors and outdoors. Today, they're just not as beautiful. However, they're a reminder of folk traditions.
Coloring eggs.
Coloring Easter eggs. Yeah, the egg is arguably the ultimate symbol of Easter. Painted, dyed, hard-boiled, or even blown empty, eggs have represented new life and rebirth for thousands of years, long before Easter existed. In Christian tradition, the egg came to symbolize Christ's resurrection, with the hard shell representing the sealed tomb and the emerging chick symbolizing new life.
It's kind of hard for a chick to emerge once it's hard boiled.
This is true. Over time, Easter traditions developed around eggs, bringing them to church for blessings, exchanging them as gifts, hiding them for children, and even rolling them in public celebrations like the famous White House Easter egg roll. What started as a symbol of spring and faith became a universal, playful tradition that spans cultures and continents. getting a delivery from the Easter Bunny. Easter is named after Istra, the pagan goddess that symbolized fertility. Bunnies are well known for their fertility, so the rabbit became associated with the goddess and the holiday. In ancient times, the festival to celebrate Istra typically occurred in the spring, and that's also when rabbits breed. The cartoon version of the Easter Bunny, which delivers chocolate and candy-filled Easter baskets to kids, is a fairly modern invention popularized by marketing campaigns in the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have egg hunts. Oh, this is interesting. It started in the 15th century with Martin Luther, and that's where Lutheran comes from. He broke off from the Catholic
Well,
faith.
he tried to, but then they burned him at the stake.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, but who has the last laugh? I don't know. The joy of the hunt was meant to symbolize the joy that Mary and Martha felt upon finding Christ's tomb empty after he was resurrected. These days, the eggs are more likely to be made of hollow plastic and filled with Easter candy or toys or money, a much more fun surprise than a hard-boiled egg that's been sitting out in the sun too long.
Yep. I've never put out the hard-boiled eggs, only the plastic ones, because,
So we used to do the hard-boiled, and how about one that wasn't fine, but the dog would bring it home 2 days later, and oh gosh, it was it was under the bush just a tad too long. Yep.
And somebody inevitably ends up with the toilet time because their egg was not properly stored, and
Yep. Mm-hmm. Eating hollow chocolate bunnies. Love them or hate them. I dislike them. Hollow chocolate bunnies will most likely be part of your Easter. They make great Easter basket stuffers, after all. Considering the underwhelming amount of chocolate they provide compared with their solid counterparts, chewing down on hollow bunnies may seem like one of the more bizarre Easter traditions, but there's a reason behind the candy's popularity. In 1939, chocolate manufacturers wanted a way to make chocolate bunnies that could be large and decorative while still easy to eat. You'll have no problem biting into a thin, hollow chocolate bunny, but bigger chunks of solid chocolate can be tough on your chompers. And let's be honest, making hollow bunnies was also a way for manufacturers to what? Sell larger products at a cheaper price. Or sell them at an even higher price.
I remember one time going to what used to be Morley's Candy Factory in Michigan, and some of those bunnies were measured at 3 foot tall. They were hollow, and the elaborate decorating on them with the different types of confections, the little sugar pasty stick-on things, and the painted colors on them, freaking wild. People would buy those. We're talking back in the 80s, 90s, $100 a pop. They were massive chocolate bunnies. And God, they were beautiful. They were absolutely beautiful.
I don't think I've ever had a hollow bunny that was good.
If you're getting the cheap ones, they're going to be more of that waxy chocolate flavored candy, not real chocolate.
Yeah.
You got to find the ones that are actual real chocolate for them to be good.
Right. Yep.
And I've had the real chocolate ones, and I love them.
Ooh,
my favorite.
Snacking on jelly beans, mine too. We eat them all year round, actually.
I do too.
Perhaps, perhaps the most versatile candy after chocolate, jelly beans have become a hallmark of Easter traditions. But their story goes back further than you might think. They originally appeared in the U.S. in the 19th century as a Christmas treat, and their oval shape was said to symbolize the Easter egg. Over time, their pastel colors, chewy sweetness, and variety of flavors made them perfect for filling plastic Easter eggs during hunts.
They look like beans, not eggs. And I mean, you open up a green bean pod, and that's That's what they look like. Green beans. Oh, these little fuckers.
I love them. I love them. They went out the other day, and I said, just bring me home some Peeps. They brought me home 4 boxes of Peeps. Into the refrigerator they went.
Now, I
like
watched a documentary on how these were originally made back, because they're going to give you the company and the info, but it was handmade. Every marshmallow was molded to look like an actual chicken, baby chick, and it had the eyes and everything properly put on, not the cockeyed ones where they look like they're looking in 5 directions at once.
Exactly.
So, yep. I'm just going to say.
These brightly colored, sugar-coated marshmallow chicks were first created in 1953 by the Just Born Company, but it took a few years for them to become an Easter must-have. Originally, Peeps were hand-dipped and sold primarily in the Philadelphia area, mostly as a general sweet treat. Their rise as an Easter staple really took off in the 1960s when the company started marketing them specifically for the holiday, packaging them in the iconic pastel colors and pairing them with baskets and other seasonal goodies. Yep. And I mean, they've taken off more than just Easter. I mean, you see them at Christmas, Valentine's Day. They come in all kind of flavors.
Dr. Pepper flavored ones at Walmart, and I was like, no, gross.
I'm not down. Yeah, I'm not down with all that.
Vanilla or peppermint? That's the only 2 flavors I'll tolerate.
No, good old fashioned. Okay, gifting of Easter baskets. It's one of the most popular traditions. You fill your basket with eggs. That comes from Germany and was inspired by the concepts of fertility and springtime. They really had an issue in Germany, didn't they, with fertility and springtime. Children would make nests filled with grass in hopes that Peter Cottontail would fill the nest with eggs and other treats. The nest gradually evolved into baskets, which were less messy, easier to carry, and of course, bigger.
Now, I know they want to attribute some of this to German, but it actually comes from the Norwegian, Norse, and those like Finland, Sweden, Norway, like Oster, even though the E's there and technically in Swedish it's not pronounced, it is the Swedish goddess, the old Norse goddess from like Sweden and Norway that they seem to attribute to Germany in Reader's Digest, but it was actually out of Sweden. So they're a little bit off.
Well, they all have their things. Baking an Easter, that's what I'm going to miss. Lamb.
I love lamb.
Baking and so do I. I haven't had it in a long time. Baking an Easter lamb or ham, and that are the traditions. And in terms of religious Easter traditions, lamb is the favorite. So it's not uncommon to see a rack of lamb in the center of the feast.
We always did ham because my mom thought none of us would like lamb. Hot cross buns! Yeah. They're a really good snack.
Hot cross buns and other breads marked with the symbol of a cross aren't just Easter traditions. They are often eaten on Good Friday, too. Oh, I wonder what any other day of the week or year? Different sweet breads are eaten all over the world on Easter Day, including Korrig, Armenian, Pascha, Ukraine, Babka, Poland.
Good luck with Greece.
Sorecki.
I think it's Sorecki.
Yeah, Greece and Italian. Sorecki, Saurecki, Sorecki, Torsecki, Towersecki. It's one of the Secki.
I know the T's always silent.
From Greece. Yeah, wow. Anybody that's Greek in the audience, our apologies.
Correct us.
and Italian Easter bread. And I had my wedding reception at a Greek Hall. So go figure.
My
They are
a couple generations back, my grandparents were great. They came from Greece to Poland, then Poland to the U.S.
Okay. You can scroll up. We don't need to read that. Keep going. There are a lot left. Watching Easter parades, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That started in the 1800s up in New York City.
Yep.
Decorating, Easter lilies. They're elegant trumpet-shaped flowers. They're associated with the holiday, and they're called Easter lilies.
Yep.
That's one flower.
Why we should trust them?
Yeah, let's read. Why do we trust them? At Reader's Digest, we're committed to producing high-quality content by writers with expertise and experience in their field in consultation with relevant, qualified experts. We rely on reputable primary sources, including government and professional organizations and academic institutions, as well as our writers' personal experiences where appropriate. We verify all facts and data, back them with credible sourcing, and revisit them over time to ensure they remain accurate and up to date. Read more about our team, our contributors, and our editorial policies.
Except they forgot that a couple of these were, yes, German down the road, but started actually in the Norse regions, but we'll leave that alone.
All right, it's 9:09. Is that it for today there, ma'am?
Yeah, we can, that covers everything. No, that actually covers everything. The other stuff was emergency in case we needed it.
Yeah, was there any short at all to be shown?
No, because we covered mostly happy topics about Easter, and so I don't know unless you have a short you want to share.
No, I don't. No, I don't. So, all right, everybody. We hope that you have a nice holiday weekend. As I mentioned, we will be off on Monday, returning on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, and set your notifications. We appreciate your being with us. And with that, I'm out, Crazy Bee.
Oh, I'm going to tell